Hey guys, how's it going? Zach here at Toasty DIY, and today we're taking a look at Pwnage's new mouse, the Pwnage Trinity CF. This thing just came out, so I'm going to do a quick unboxing, kind of talk about my first initial thoughts and impressions, and I'm going to flash forward 3 weeks after using it daily and give you guys my thoughts then. So the Trinity CF is made with carbon fiber composite, and it comes in at a super lightweight 37 grams. This version I have right here is the nacho colorway with cutout sides, and it comes in at $139. For the more technical specs, it's using a custom Pixart 3950 sensor, 36,000 DPI. Most people never ever go that high on DPI, but you know, there's some freaks out there. It has optical switches and it comes optimized for 8K polling rate and includes the necessary dongle for that. One super cool feature about this mouse that I've never seen before is the adjustable sensor position. So as you can see, the position of the sensor is held in place by these two screws right here, and you're able to fully adjust the placement of the sensor further up or further back. And that's super cool because, you know, depending on your hand size, grip style, how you use a mouse, some of that feature allows you to fully customize it to maximize your personal performance based on how you intend to use the mouse. So, you know, me, for example, I have a glass mouse pad, and when I'm gaming, I'm on a higher sense, so I use a lot of wrist movement. I don't move the whole mouse. So by moving the sensor further forward, this movement will get me a lot more mileage than having it further back, because, you know, to basically do a full flick, for example, it might just be this if the sensor's further up, but if I have it all the way in the back, I have to go a lot further to cover the same distance. And as far as the shape goes, this mouse is very reminiscent of the Razer Viper Mini, and the closest comparison is probably going to be the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition. But one thing to keep in mind is the Signature Edition is double the price. It also weighs in at 49 grams. You know, if you want something that is a little bit closer in terms of price, shape, and weight, the HitScan Hyperlight is a newer release that comes in at $89, 39 grams. The shape is not as close as the Viper Mini, but it is that same small locked in kind of claw grip or fingertip grip. All right, so let's talk about the build quality of this thing. So first off, right off the rip, I am a big fan of the coating. I had the first version Stormbreaker, and one thing that really drove me crazy about it was the coating was super slick. This coating is a lot more grippy. It definitely was a little bit more slick when I first had it in hand, but after using it for a little bit, I don't know if my hands just kind of dried up or, you know, if the coatings had to break in, but it felt a lot better in hand. And honestly, they have versions with the cutouts on the side and also solid side. I have the cutout version. These side cutouts do not bother me at all. I am coming from a Beast X, which has the side cutouts as well, but there is honestly not a big issue with these cutouts. I don't feel like they get in the way at all or hinder the performance. I actually kind of like them in hand because it gives a little bit of a groove and better grip or traction without having to put, you know, grip tape or other things on the mouse. Next thing is the integrity of the shell. So I'm squeezing the sides very hard, and I don't feel any play, any wobble, nothing. I'm pushing down everywhere. There is no movement. It's very solid. The side buttons, I did notice in my use, they have a little bit of wobble to them, like side to side play. You can probably see how much they move right there. In use, honestly, it doesn't really do anything because you're not holding it down and wiggling around in most cases, but you can definitely kind of notice it if you put your mind to it. But once again, doesn't hinder performance at all. It doesn't really do anything too crazy. The clicks are super sharp. I'm a big fan. In the back towards the center of the mouse, they are a bit heavier. You can feel there's a lot of tension there, but as you get to the top, they become a lot lighter, a lot more crisp. Post and pre-travel, there is basically none. Pre-travel, very light. Post-travel is also basically nothing that stands out. These are very standard travel mounts for high-end mice. One thing I've seen a lot of people talk about, and is on my model as well, is the bottom plate is very flexible. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm pushing on it and it is bending very easily. But bottom of the mouse shouldn't matter too much. It's not like, you know, you're picking it up by this. If you have a glass mouse pad and you drop this thing on the corner of your mouse and it hits the plate super hard, maybe you'd see some damage, probably not, but I can't imagine a case where the flexible bottom will cause any damage or issues unless you're just doing some freaky stuff with the mouse. Stock skates, used them with the mouse pad that came with the Stormbreaker Max CF, and the skates felt very nice. For my little experience with cloth mouse pads and stock skates, they seem pretty solid. One thing about this mouse too is that it does come in at 37 grams. It is a pretty small shape. It is reminiscent of that Viper Mini as I mentioned earlier, but it's just the balance of it. It's the weight's distributed very evenly, so it just makes it feel even lighter in my opinion. Going on to the scroll wheel feels very, very nice. Good amount of tension to it. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about, but it's solid.
And now we'll just do a little click sound test just so you guys can hear what it kind of sounds like.
Alright guys, it's time to wrap this video up. So after 3 weeks of using the Pwnage Trinity CF, I can say I really do enjoy this mouse. After all this time using this mouse for about 2 to 3 hours daily, I can say the QC has held up very well. I have seen some people who have had issues with their models. I have seen plenty of posts on Reddit, social media, everything saying that batch 1 hasn't been the best, but I can say with confidence my unit has not had any issues yet. It has been 3 weeks. I feel like if I would have had issues, they would have arisen by now, but they have not. So speaking from personal experience, I really do enjoy this mouse and I can recommend it to anybody if it does not have those issues. The coating has been super solid. I know with the Pwnage Stormbreaker, not the Max with the original Stormbreaker, one big gripe I had with it was the coating. It was just super slick. This does not have that at all. It's very grippy and I just really like it a lot. My only major gripe with this mouse is the bottom cutouts. You can see where the skates go. I replaced these skates for some donuts. I use a glass pad. I have these Edge Runner donuts. With the cutouts underneath where the skate slots are, it makes it to where you can only put skates in very specific spots. Especially on the bottom here, you can see you kind of have to put them more centralized. You can't put dots more so in the corners just because of those holes. It's not a game changer, it's not a deal breaker, but it is something to note that when using dots and donuts, you can't really put them where you want to. You have to kind of cater to where those cutouts are. And lastly, I feel like the big thing to talk about is the price justified? So this is an expensive mouse. I do think that compared to other expensive gaming mouse like the Logitech Superlight, the Dex, you got the Razer Viper Signature Edition, there's just more expensive mice flooding the market. The Freeman from Pulsar even. This I think holds up well. My version has not had any issues or anything to knock points off for the price. It has held up super well. It's a super solid mouse. The adjustable sensor, the weight of it, the shape, the feeling, the coating, the colorways, everything about it is just very premium. I do think there are more budget options like the HitScan Hyperlight, but if you do save up and decide to get this, which is, you know, a little bit more expensive, I don't think you'll be disappointed whatsoever. So I think that about wraps this video up. This is the Pwnage Trinity CF, and I just want to say one more time, I do thoroughly enjoy this mouse. There are known issues with it though in this first batch. Maybe the second batch will be better. Maybe you'll get a version that doesn't have any issues. I am just speaking purely about my issue right here, and I can just say this is a wonderful mouse. If you guys are interested in learning more, I'll have a link to the project description in the description down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.